It's preparing. So then just give me a minute to get over there to get you live. It's going. It's going to restream. Signing you in now.
Okay, so we are in this opposite, and then one is breaking. Don't kick each other. Yeah, we'll try, you know, like fall back.
Okay.
Yes, the camera is on. She's 10.
Okay.
That one's on.
It says live. Let me check it over here. But because I have. Sorry. Yes, you're live.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. We are so excited. We are at the Palm Springs Grow Fest, and we are at the vertical space stage area, and I'm excited to share with you my guest speaker. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about this?
So I'm Caroline Goulard. Believe it or not, I'm a veterinarian involved in drone. And I would say I got into drone several years ago, and we got into a new house, and I finally was settling down from traveling so much around, and I'm like, oh, we can grow our own food. And as I did that, I had a lot of presentation where people would say, oh, my farm is 55 acres or 70 acres. How did you tell people how big it is? I'm like, what did you put it from? That was my first thought. And so basically I was thinking about it, and finally I decided to form Green Farm for All, which is basically, at first it was to educate people how it grows. So like, how do I do in my garden? And then at some point I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna pull the trigger, I'm gonna buy a drone. And I still remember our first picture of me and my spouse where I like at the park trying to like, how do you take a picture with this thing? And so started to get in contact with some farmers just to get pictures of the farm and videos. And this is how I'm like, oh my God, you know, this is amazing. Listen to farmer stories. Let me help you tell the story. And then so Green Farm for All as a branch for basically showing people to be basically being a content creator to help the farmers to market their farm. Because we see a lot of farmers now these days, you will do a lot of what we call agritourism to be able to also pay their bills. I do have a farmer actually that's 60% of the money coming in comes from the agritourism. And agritourism means you get people coming to your farm, you present what you're doing, they buy the product, you do farm to table. So the big main tickets are like $100, and you entertain people. And so that's very important. So I wanted to be a part of that. And also I do grow dragon fruits, as you know. And so this is also a small part of what I do, is growing fruits. Selling fruits and also the cuttings to grow so people can grow them.
So is that the marketing side that you started?
Yes.
Is through the revenue.
Yes.
Oh, and you're right, the epic overall picture.
Yes.
It's just that under the heart, and you can tell the size of it.
Yeah. And the thing I think people don't realize what is the average farm size, because we have the United States says they have about 430 acres average. This number is really skewed because you have a lot of large farms, 1,000 acres, 5,000 acres. I still don't comprehend how I could film 5,000 acres of a drone. And that actually becomes very important where, as one of the things that's very important to me is also to introduce farmers and the public, what is the role of drones in agriculture? And so as a drone pilot, like, where in the United States, where is the pulse of the drones in agriculture? And so basically you've got these agriculture drones for spraying, and then you have a lot of the mapping that is going on. And what happens is that with the agriculture drone in the spray, what you have is that which you use them. So it's not an end for all, where you're going to be using them spraying a certain amount of acreage. So this is good a lot of times for small farms, or when you look at the type of farming, you've got the Midwest, well, the corn and the soy. These are called row crops. So these are the village farms. And then when you go to California, where it's I was gonna say the better place, but basically where we grow a lot of our food, and these are specialty crops. We have hundreds of different types. And we do have a lot of lettuce. We have a lot of wine grapes, Temecula, or when you go to that area. And so we have a lot of different crops there. It's the plots tend to be smaller. And I was following a management company, following almond farms. And almonds, we produce 80% of all the almonds in the world. And so even though we have that, those farms are small. So when I went to the management company, we went for a 75-acre farm. And then said, oh, do you want to come 45 minutes and wait another one you can fly? Oh, okay. And so I've been flying over maybe, acres, 6 to 800 acres. And so that's very important for me when I do the content, when I have my program that I love. Oh, and that's my favorite one. The resolution is beautiful. And so if I fly over something and I've got the gimbal down, and then get go up and down, I get 10 acres. That's all I can get up to 100 feet. I'll just think about those are used. And so with the agriculture like we were talking about, they're going to be good for small farms. And so maybe 50 acres, and it also depends on the type of crop, because whatever you spray is going to get speed. And so now that we have, we were talking about the typical problems, more the challenges with forward with problems. And so what I know best is the role of agriculture. We have so much licensing, waivers, and exceptions that are needed to spray. I mean, these problems like those, right? They're huge. They can, 55 pounds or more. You can have little ones. They have some that have 10 liters capacity, but we have now some that have 50 liters capacity. And so you have because there's, it's not like, you can just push a button and you got your license. And so the operator has weapon license. Yes. Yes. And basically, and it would be what happens is that you have every state has their own possibility. So whenever you apply, you're going to have the state license to every capital state that you want to go and spray. The thing also in terms of regulation, now we have less that may not know, so that's basically applying the online site. And so those roads now you can potentially have them through the online site. What happens with the agriculture road, they're very useful. Have areas that are very hilly or difficult to grow, and like little corners, because you have the planes that can go, the crop dusters. Your crop duster, you cannot just turn like this if you want. Right. Yes, they basically go up 50 feet off the ground, and they're very dangerous. We lose about 10 packets a year to wires. They go under wires, they go under trees, and they can cover But it's basically you have to have the right tool for what you've got.
So we talked about, for the marketing side, which is what we're doing at world, about using the outside. What about multi-effect?
So we talked about imaging, so basically we have a lot of the spraying and then you have the imaging.
So here,
And so the imaging is a thing on itself. So for the agriculture spray, we'll do your mapping, basically you have your drone, you do your mapping, you push a button and like. Sometimes you're like this, but basically you do not,
they're not manually.
no. But you basically have what we call precision agriculture, where you're doing different types of imaging that give you different types of information. And so, yeah, we talk about multispectral, hyperspectral, that has even bands, we can go to details. You have just the infrared, also the information about how much, how good is your sense for this. And there's a lot of specialty in it. And so basically you do have people that do the software. So it's very specialized and it's lagging a little bit behind well how the roles get in. And so we really need a lot of person to help us get those software faster so we can put back and like, oh, we're there right now. And as we go into live, we see exactly, for example, oh, this is a test. And now we can set the drone and instead of spraying everything, you only spray the areas. So we call that this prescription spray, where the drone goes and oh, just a little bit here or here, not there. And so you go around and you only use what you need. It is very important in the farming industry because there are lives where the return on investment is going to be smaller and smaller. So there's a lot of geopolitical instability, the cost of everything is going up. It's your people that work for you, fertilizer, and services. Yeah, the least amount of fertilizer, pesticide, or anything else. We'll go down and you use that technology, but it's getting there slowly by slowly. I really feel that spray ground, we're seeing an explosion. Like I feel like when I'm on LinkedIn, I see more and more companies opening their spray. But now we have the imaging that needs to kind of catch up a little bit to be even more meaningful. And in terms of spraying, some people can be now some people, oh my God, we're spraying pesticide and killing things. And this is not just used for that. You know, spray drones can have a tank that is liquid, or you change it for solid. And your solid can be fertilizer, it can be beneficial insects. So beneficial insects are one thing. Also, you can also spray radiated insects that are dead, not for combat. Basically, insects that are just insects.
So if somebody was just considering, okay, this might be the direction that I would go, what would be some of the advice or tips that you would say?
Well, that's very interesting because one of the things that some people are trying to do in the education, well, first you need to have a 107 certificate. And the thing is, I see more and more colleges doing these type of programs. So I think that entry, the bar to entry is low at this point. And so we need to continue just pushing in. And we're looking at these right now. That's an other story. And this is where we in education, where colleges are not up to speed with that. I do have one community college in New Jersey. They have a precision agriculture degree. And that's new from the last 2 years, and it's mainly more imaging. And so I'm very, very proud of it with Adam, the director of that program. And so we need more of that. But in terms of spring around, there is a lot of requirements that are going to go to. So you need 50 hours with people training them. So you have to be somewhere that is doing it to have those hours. And actually, control Jones at, it's trying so hard to get the program started. And so that's gonna help get them almost 50 hours, hands-on, paid attention. And it goes, basically, will pay people like up to $100 an hour.
So it's really exciting when we think about the future, how it's built now, and that we are seeing programs. But I also think on one side, it's educating the students, that's putting it out.
Yes.
Showing the value.
Yeah. The thing is, when we talk about that, so when you look at the age of farmers, the average is very old and it's getting older because we do not have the new generation. And that's where I was very, very happy to talk to Taylor Porter, who has agri spring. And he has a beautiful story of somebody wanted the spring ground and they helped him try to get into the spring ground. And at the end of the summer, he was able to pay a small salary, go back to his farm, help him to the harvest, and have his kid drive to the combine. And so that's why the Taylor says, empowering rural America. And this is a very, very good example of what we can do to get the younger generation interested in STEM. And so basically, we're looking at high technology, the spray ground and all the software. Really need a lot of people working on that. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Exactly. Yeah, but basically that's what we want to try to get those young people interested in agriculture. The thing also with agriculture was very interesting when I talked to Taylor is that people don't have the space to go out to the farm because you have less farmland and one father you have 5 kids. There's no place for 5 kids at the farm necessarily. And so that's one thing that you was mentioned.
Interesting. So it's neat when I hear your story and your journey and how you come to be here. I know if you don't mind me saying, you're making some changes. And so what do you see in your future and kind of the hope and dream for you and your goals?
Well, to be announced. So we contact a person that likes running different projects. And so, you know, as a Green Farm for All, we basically have 3 major things. In terms of the content creator, it's really educating the public on where you comes from. And so that's one thing, and trying to be a content creator for farmers to help them showcase when they come to farmers. And so that's one thing, and then continue knowing more about the agriculture routes and continue being a voice for that, so that farmers that want to hear about it, or people like, well, what is it doing? So that people also are not scared. You know what happens with communities when you introduce something new? They're like, oh, we're scared. You know, we're gonna have drones flying all over us. And so if you can tell people and introduce a community, this is what it can do for you. I think that's very important. Because if you put a technology so advanced, people that have more knowledge of it will look at it as a different. And so I think it's important that we continue informing communities of what we're doing.
Yes, I think awareness.
Yes.
I think we are seeing more and more that people are realizing they are a tool. Phones are a tool. And there's so many people. So I'm excited to see how it is. So let's just wrap this up. It was a great talking right now. So maybe one last point that you'd like to share.
Just keep learning and have your eyes open and be open to new things. Yes, absolutely. And be safe.
Well, thank you very much, and it's been excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's been great. Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Can we shut this down? Bye,
We're still
everybody.
live.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm good.
Hi, good morning. Stay tuned. We have Linda Quackenboss coming up and she's gonna share about what drone is used for what purpose. Get the right drone, for the right tool, right?
It's a lot around this world.
Stay tuned.
And so you're putting here and there.
Yeah, Carolyn had that. For-
Great.
Then you got this here.
You know, I never stop it on your end, I stop it on my end, so I just cut it off over there. Oh, that's what I was, that's what I was looking for.
No.
So I,